Welcome back to another wondrous Wednesday episode, and today we are coming to you live from the caravan, which is parked up very near to the national park, which is
Karajini.
Karajini.
So let's jump straight into it.
Proudly brought to you by Icheck TPMS. Now, first of all, I'm not sure if you can see Bob, but he is absolutely feral. He has gone from grey to red because he's been rolling in all the red dirt.
We all struggling to stay clean.
Yeah.
In terms of the orange dirt, but we're having a fantastic time. So hello, welcome back from me. You guys are all well and enjoying the week. So we got a different one this week for you. We've chosen our top 10 waterfront camps in Australia. Now, these are not in national parks because we can't go to a national park.
And they're not on islands because we can't go to islands.
And look, we haven't been to every single camp in Australia, so these are the ones that we've chosen that we think that we would we would definitely return back to. Some of these we've actually been back to.
Yeah, we have.
They're in no particular order.
Just a bit of a mix-up.
Just a bit of it. Now,
keep it fresh.
Now, some you may have heard of.
Yeah.
But we've tried to, when we travel, we try and find new places as well. So using the camp apps and stuff, and so some of these you may have heard of, and some of these they might
be a little hidden gem.
Or some you may have forgotten about. So I don't know. Let's kick it off, darling.
Let's crack into it, as they say. So first on the list is a campground by the name of Trinity Islands.
Yeah, just about 25 minutes sort of north of Hervey Bay. So we found this one year before last that we stayed at.
We did.
And we rolled in, and I got to tell you, I've never been to anything like it.
There's a working reception area, you phone, you book like a caravan park.
Yeah.
What was really great about Trinity Islands is it superseded all our expectations. We extended. We did extend. There was beautiful green grass, and there are all these man-made little sort of canals, water canals.
Well, it's ponds. One canal.
Oh, one canal.
Yes, and we got to meet the I don't know if I think she was the owner.
Yep.
And this is 2 years ago, and she had big plans for Trinity Islands, and yeah, clean amenities, like almost brand new, washing machines available, unpowered sites and powered sites. We stayed on an unpowered site, and it was waterfront. We could have a campfire. This is obviously the time we went there. I don't know if
everything depends on the time of year. So
we went there, I think it was like June, July, year before last.
Yeah.
So winter, and man, I tell you what, and then just a bit further down on the road, we drove down, and I don't know if, like I say, this is the time that we stayed there. You could go, she had this sort of deck area that you could actually fish in the creek there, and that's something for you to do. You can have a crack at fishing. We had a crack, no luck, obviously.
Also in the canal, you can actually catch release because they breed fish in the canals, as long as you release them. So we had a little bit of fun doing that. Yeah,
there was a barbecue facility there, like a big open plan deck area, like not many trees around. So, like I said, unpowered, and I think there are powered sites available.
And the kids were having an amazing time. They've almost got like this little man-made beach area into the canal, and they've got a couple of kayaks
that you can hire.
Yep.
So
the kids can have
don't think you can put like a boat on it. It's not that big, and I think they try and keep the fish so you can catch a fish for a bit of fun as long as you release it again. At least that's what we were told. Also, like I said, 25 minutes north. I think it was about a 20-25 minute drive back into Hervey Bay to get some supplies. It's actually The Woolworths that I went to was on the north side of sort of Hervey Bay, so you come in and the Woolworths is right there.
So very close to all those sort of modern amenities, but like far out enough for it to be really peaceful and enjoyable.
top spot. Greg's flying the drone. Greg?
How do you hear that?
I don't know. Windows open. So, next one you would have most probably heard of. Recently we went to this one. Winderabandi.
Oh, it had to be second on the list because I think this is literally one of my top 2 or 3 campsites in Australia.
Now we haven't managed to get into 14 Mile. We went, I don't know if you saw a couple of weeks back our video on South Lefroy. Now we've spoken to some friends that have actually been to South Lefroy, and if you get the weather good and you get a good campsite, they reckon South Lefroy is pretty good. But this is what we've been to, Winderabandi. Now we stayed on site number 43. Book on the app. I think this is sort of like a low cost camping. I think all those camps are $8 per person per night. No toilets, no water, no power. So you got to be self-contained for these ones. The road into Winderabandi, I will say
Shocking.
at the time, it was bad, but it's not undoable.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to just point that out. And something that we didn't know is that your Winderabandis, your North Lefroy, your South Lefroy, and your Point Billy, they're all sort of almost next to each other. I was completely on the understanding that each one was a road, like a separate road into it. So if you're going to go into Winderabandi, try and see if you can get some other camps as well, so you can spend maybe a week or 2 there. The booking system in WA, everyone knows, is a bit
Not great.
bit tricky. Got to book way in advance for this one.
But what is great about it,
Oh, I tell you,
literally the most beautiful beach on your doorstep. The water is crystal clear, but that turquoise beautiful color. It's great for swimming. It's deep enough you don't have to go miles out for a good swim. Fishing was superb.
boating, kayaking,
At this time of year, which was July as well, end of June, July, we were able to have a fire on the campsite or on the beach if it's sort of contained in a fire pit, I believe. And just the sunsets and the serenity was superb. Can I just say, how do you remember what campsite number we stayed on? I don't even know where I am or what day of the week it is, and you're like, we stayed on campsite number 43.
You got to understand, I edit and I do all of that. Also, we do understand that maybe Winderabandi has better campsites further up. We couldn't get it, and 43 was nice. Look, we weren't facing the water, but we had this little private sort of opening between the dunes that we could see the water, and you could go down, and we actually made a fire pit down on the beach and just watch the sunset. Absolutely amazing.
The next one is another W. Wauraltee.
South
Australia.
On the York.
On the York. And I don't know, maybe we were just really lucky we got superb weather when we were on Wauraltee. Again, beautiful camp. You can actually park down on the beach itself. There are actually 2 areas. There's one at the top, which is the car park. And that's the one that's paid for and managed. Well,
we don't quite understand this. So this is why we're not saying about if it's paid or not. We paid the weekly fee for the York, which was $100 for the week.
Yeah.
Or it's $20
a night.
Some people say that, Wauraltee on the beach you don't pay because it's Crown land and stuff. We don't know.
I always say be safe.
Yeah, we paid the money, and we got 4 nights or 3 nights on Wauraltee, and it was over the Aussie Day weekend this weekend. It was my birthday, and the weather turned it on for us. Now, I will say something to interrupt.
You're
the weather.
Yourself.
I won't. Beautiful. You got to also understand that weather can determine if it's going to be a good camp or not. Like, for instance, we went to North Lefroy and it rained for 3 days, and we didn't put it on our list. Wauraltee, we had those days on Wauraltee, and we moved off the beach, and we met up with some friends that travelled with us for a bit, and it was windy, it was raining, and I said to Jason, I said, come on, let's just take you down and show you Wauraltee. And, man, the day I saw it, it was chalk and cheese. The waves were bashing in on it. There were actually some campers on the beach. I don't know why. There were 2 people. I didn't know if I should go down and say, mate, you need a hand to get off, because it was just, you should, there was no ways I would have camped there for that.
That's a good point. You have to be 4x4 to get down onto
Yep.
Wauraltee.
Let your tyres down.
Yep.
Same thing. There were toilets sort of on the entry to Wauraltee up the top. No power, no water, self-contained.
No amenities.
We didn't have fires because that was no
Fire
fire ban. But we managed to get the boat off and
Great squidding.
Yeah, we did catch some squid.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Great
so
squidding.
it can be a good spot, but pick your weather.
Yeah.
Like we did a episode a few weeks back with the apps thing. Like get a weather app and check it.
Yeah. And again, just to say, great swimming beach, because you get some beaches that are beautiful, but you can't swim there because it's not deep enough. Wauraltee's one where it's deep enough to have a quality swim.
This one is basically for people that are going to be going up to the Cape. Coen. The banks of the Coen. We were supposed to stay one night with our crew that went up to Cape last year. We ended up staying 2 nights. And I'll tell you what, it was...
What a gem. This was a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Like, incredible.
You can cross the creek like we did. I don't think we had a choice because it was pretty busy.
Yeah. It was full on the one side, so we had to cross it.
Yeah, cross the creek, we got a spot, and we ended up, and you could, I mean, we felt safe enough to swim in that creek. The water was about that deep. We had a splash around, we had a fire. That's where we did our tomahawk steaks.
Oh, it was superb.
It was just great.
If I can just add some context in terms of description, like we pulled up this beautiful little running creek, clear water, deep enough just to sit in it, have a drink to cool off in the hot heat of the far north Queensland, parked on the bank, fire
Great
going,
people.
good
Oh.
company, great food, cooking while the water just flowed past you. It was superb.
Yes.
Blew my mind.
Same thing. No water, no power, no toilets. So we drove into the little town, and we dumped our toilet there. We had water still going, and there's a little like bottle-o / pub / little amenities. Bit expensive. I think I paid like $90 for a slab of beer back then. Toilets in town that we would just drive to if we needed to, but you had to cross the creek every time. And it was fun. Like, so if you're a bit adventurous, cross the creek, because it is spectacular if you're going up to the tip or you're coming back down. Great place to stop.
And was that paid or was that free?
I think it was free.
I think that was
Can't
free.
remember.
Yeah.
So don't hold us to that, but I think it was free.
The next one is Gumma Reserve.
Yep, northern New South Wales.
Yep. I'll let you talk through Gumma Reserve. We've actually been there twice.
We have. So like we said, some of these we've actually been back twice because we found it was quite nice. Especially in New South Wales, we struggled with the dog. Gumma Reserve, we could take the dog. Now the first year we went, we just missed the flood, so the water was a bit dirty, bit like muddy. And unfortunately last year with all that rain that New South Wales had, we had the same. Now there's some camps down the back and there's some camps on the river's front. Now there's not a lot of camps on the riverfront. I think it's about 4 or 5. I can't quite remember.
If you can nab one.
Same thing, had a fire. Toilets, no showers, no water, no... did it have a dump point? I can't remember.
Oh, good question. I'll look it up.
I think it did have a dump point, but also close to the little town, so you'll just grab the town as well.
Great pub.
Great pub, great spot to sort of camp. If you love your fishing, if you can nab it, that the water's not so muddy. I believe there's good brim, good flathead that come out of that creek. So
and really nice walk with the dog, sort of from the campsite.
It is nice, like
up all the way through to the main road.
And the little town, I think, had Woolworths in it. They had a fair bit going on in the town. Just get the town name and that, and we'll stick it up on the screen in a minute. So while Sue's looking at that, I'm going to jump on to...
No, hang on.
All right, you got it.
I'm on it. So to mention, Gumma Reserve is a paid campground, but it's a low cost paid campground. Yep. So good value for money. There is a dump point available.
Yes,
so there we go. Yeah. And yeah, it's just really nice. It's got the river bank. It's got sort of picnic tables on the river bank.
What's the little town that's close to us?
Like Derek said, you can have...
so it's close to Maxville.
In New South Wales.
In New South Wales.
Beautiful.
And then you sort of just drive down and you just follow the signs to Gumma Reserve. So great spot, and you can get a few bits and pieces in town. if you're going down that way, and from out of Maxwell, I think it's 10k, so it's not far off the Bruce Highway, I think it's called. But yeah, that's a real good one. I really enjoy.
How do you know what highway it's off?
I don't know. On to the next one, darling.
All right. The next one, once again...
You might know this one.
Yeah, you definitely know this one. We've been to this one
three times.
So it's 3 times Lucky Rapid Bay, and it
South
is
Australia.
just superb.
But
did you see what I did with that? Superb.
Oh, no. You think you got... It's not wine in her glass, it's a cup of tea. And don't worry, I had a cup of tea as well. Now, we've actually met someone that went to Rapid Bay when the weather was miserable. And she was not blown away by it. But we've happened to go to Rapid Bay 3 times, and good weather, good for fishing.
Great for squidding.
Squid there. You can fish off the jetty if you don't have a tinny or a kayak or a suppboard. People are fishing off suppboards these days. I've seen this. You know,
God, with your balance.
So yeah, no, yeah, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, toilets, no water, no dump point.
No
You've
dump
got to
point.
drive through to. Sorry, guys, I can't remember everything. So you can just
no dump.
chat about it.
So toilets. No water, no power, no dump point. You do have to drive through to dump your toilets. There's a small convenience store, but it's very small, that sells very basic supplies and a few lures. We know this because Derek found them. The campsite itself is superb. There are camp spots that go from the beachfront back. There's a grassy area at the back, so you can choose whether you want to be directly on the beach or you want to be set back a bit with some shaded areas. Picnic tables, they've got a little park for the kids to play in. And again, just have to say it, superb swimming beach.
So Rapid Bay is close to Normanville. It's about, I think it was 25-minute drive to Normanville. You can get water, dump a toilet, got an RGA in town, got a Mitre 10, great little camping shop as well for some accessories. Another thing about Rapid Bay is there's some caves. To the right of Rapid Bay, if you're looking at the water, and if you're up for a little bit of hike, you can actually hike on low tide. I did it in the first time we went there. The second time or the second or third time we took the boat there.
Yeah.
It's a great walk. It is we're hiking Carragini. I'd say it's a class sort of 4 because you got to climb over some rocks and walk, and it can be quite slippery, and it's beautiful. Also, you can go around to close. Sorry, I don't want to hang around too much on Rapid Bay. Where was it? It was here, Second Valley Beach. You're right. You can snorkel there. We snorkeled there as well.
Yeah, we did.
That's a little drive up from Rapid Bay, not too far. The drive into Rapid Bay, there's something special about that too. So yeah, Rapid Bay done. Got to go and see that one.
And following an R with another R, we've got Robin Falls.
No, you will not know. You will not have an idea where we found this one.
And if you know, stick it in the comments below, because where's Robin Falls?
In the NT.
It's in the NT.
We stumbled across this one accidentally.
Did we?
Yeah, we were trying to get into, I think it was the Daily River or something, with our friends that we had just met. This is our first year, Chris and Carla. It was closed at the time, and we sort of just followed the road around, and we found this camp, Robin Falls, which is sort of just south of Litchfield. Because after that we went to stay at that park, at Caravan Park, just outside Litchfield, to go and explore. So between sort of Catherine and Litchfield.
And this again was just a complete surprise. So there aren't too many camp spots, to be honest, so you want to try and get in early, but the camp spots are right up on this little creek that runs. And I mean, it's the NT, it's blinking hot all year round. I think the time we stayed there, it was must have been 40 plus degrees, or it felt like that anyway. And just this little creek that you can basically sit down in, have a drink to cool off. You can have a beautiful, at that time of the year that we were there, you were able to have a campfire on the water's edge, and there's a beautiful little walk up to the actual falls. But obviously we were there in dry season, so you don't have the falls running in the dry season. But if it was the wet season, I don't think we would have been able to camp there. No. So, because the water just cascades in the wet season. So, yeah, just a beautiful spot and highly recommended. I love the little creek stays because I know nothing's going to eat me in the water. and I can just sit and be happy.
Got to be self-contained. No water, no toilets, no nothing around, no power.
No dump point.
Yeah, so just remember that one. Next one. Oh, another WA one. Quobba Blowholes. This is actually at the Blowholes campground, not like the Red Bluff or anything like that. You stumble in there. That is, you've got to book that online. You can't book ahead for Quobba. You've got to arrive once you find your spot. Then you phone or you get online and you can pay and book, and you can pick your nights, how many nights you want to stay. Now, some of these are got some really great views of the ocean, and some of them you sort of just sit back on over a sand dune. Look, sort of like what we didn't quite have waterfront, very busy. But if you're getting early, say, get there around right 10:30, and when everyone's sort of leaving, you can sort of quickly grab yourself a waterfront site. Be great. Now,
they did have toilets.
They did at the snorkeling. I think they call it the aquarium.
Yeah.
There's some toilets there. So this is another reason why Quobba's on our thing, because we had some good fishing, great beach, great views, and a great place to snorkel.
Oh, the snorkeling.
And then obviously you've got the actual blowholes, which the day we picked to go the blowholes, the wind had picked up, so it was a big sea. Hot tip: you want that big sea so you can get the proper blow out of the holes and a high tide. So Quobba, yeah, no toilets, no water, no power.
Yeah.
So,
and you were literally like an excited child seeing those blowholes.
Yeah.
Next level. I eventually said, Derek, we've got to go. It's time to go. He would have sat there the entire day. There's also a coffee van.
Yes, there's a coffee van at the Blowholes, and then sometimes he has takeaways at inside the actual campground where he does fish and chips and stuff like that. So
nice swimming beach, the snorkeling superb. A lot of fire at the time of year that we were there, which was in June.
Would have been May,
early June.
Yeah, something like that. Before the school holidays, we were there. But also, first time I actually snorkeled for that long, I think, other than paying for that one in Wauraltee Beach where we went snorkeling with. And
we saw a lot.
Yeah, saw a lot. Hot tip, good to snorkel on a high tide, because on a low tide it gets really, really shallow. So we were on a high tide, we were actually able to float over to the deeper sections. Didn't see any sharks or anything like that, but apparently other people have seen sharks in there. So it's your black tips sharks. Well, yeah, and then beach is good. We put the tinny in, and if you've got a little bit of bigger boat, or you know what you're doing, you can actually get across the breakers and you can fish the back end, and that's where they're getting all the mackerel. Unfortunately, we kept it safe. We fished inside of those breakers and not in the green zone, and we managed to get a lot of squid. So yeah, that was Quobba. Loved it. And also we spotted some whales at that time of the year swimming out the back, because there's been whales everywhere at the moment. So it was good.
Great stuff.
This one won't shock you.
No, I think this has got to be on just about everyone's list, is Notch Point.
Queensland.
Notch Point, Queensland. So, Notch Point's an interesting little drive in. It's a bit of fun, actually. It's like not terrible, but it's a bit of a challenge.
Wouldn't do it if it had been raining. And I wouldn't do it, apparently, if there's king tides.
Yeah.
And if you have both those, don't do it. Because I reckon if it rained for a few days before you were going in, or I think it could get a bit slippery and slidey, because we've been in there once where it rained a few weeks prior to that, and there was still water, these little mud holes that you had to go through.
And you could see everyone's tyre tracks struggling on the way in and
out. But I've given this hint to people, like if you're unsure, you come up to the front gate, you can park on the left or the right hand side, maybe unhitch, take a drive in. Without the caravan, it gets a bit tight here and there depending on the size of your van, but I do believe some big vans have got in there. Go in, have a look, make up your mind if it's your thing or not, and then come back, get the van, and then take it in. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, leaving your van out there, but we leave our van at a free camp anyway, so I don't think it's a bad idea.
They've got dustbins out the front, or skip bins out the front.
That's it.
No water, no power, no toilets, self-contained.
Yep.
As you go in, there's parking up the side of almost like the river,
like
bay area. Creek, River Bay Creek. And then if you go up over the hill, you get to sort of the area on the point, which is obviously surrounded by the ocean. Beautiful beach area. Obviously, you've got to be croc-wise.
It is, yeah.
Because it is crocky land or crocky area.
Yeah.
So just be careful. But superb views. Like I would say 270-degree views if you get the right spot. Grassy area. Loads of cows. Like the cows are everywhere. Bobby had an absolute field of a time thinking he was going to chase the cows because he thinks he's bigger than he is.
Just a great spot. Sunset, sunrise, depending on which side of that point you're at. It's just, it can be good. But then, you know, weather permitted, like if it blew, you wouldn't want to be there because it's coastal camping, like coastal living. And
again, great views. You can have a fire at certain times of the year if there isn't a fire ban. And great fishing. So we didn't launch the boat there, but we know we've got friends who have, and we've obviously
if you're up for it, but
gone out run across.
Right, the last one. So top 10, also in Queensland, not far from Notchy Point, is Lake Proserpine, or other known as Peter Faust Dam.
There we go.
We've been
twice,
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
The first time was in COVID. There was no one there. At that time, it was a free camp. Now it's a paid camp. Not a lot. I think it's a low cost camp. Absolutely superb. But we have been told that because where it's situated on the dam, it can get quite blowy there.
Yeah.
Now every time we've been there, we've been very fortunate to get really good weather. The one time it did blow up a little bit, but great evenings, great sunsets, just
on the water.
Unfortunately, the first time we went to that 3 years ago, that dam was quite high, and then the year before we went, it was a bit lower, and then it's gotten a bit lower again, and you can't quite camp. You've got to walk to the dam. You can't quite camp on the dam.
Got great views.
But it's great views.
And it's great for any water activities. They do allow water and boating activities.
I caught me first barra.
Yes, you did.
There you go.
Barra hunter.
After I almost sank the boat.
You didn't have a bung plug.
Didn't put the plug in.
Oh, there we go.
But great, and then Proserpine is about also another half-hour drive. Got everything you need, and then if you go another half-hour, you're nearly beach. So
now it does have great amenities. So it's got showers and toilets.
Yep, and it's got a little shop now there.
It's got a little shop there, all in the reception area where you can buy sort of basics, same you would in a caravan reception park reception area. There's no power. There's no water, and there's no dump point. No. You can have fires at certain times of the year if it's in a pit. But yeah, all in all, just another superb, sort of reasonably cost or low cost camp area, and close enough to amenities.
And pretty safe as well. Great spot, lots of trees. You can camp on the water's edge, looking at the water. Or you can sort of camp amongst the trees if you want.
You can actually go up behind the reception area as well. They've even got camping up the back.
And you can hire kayaks, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
We didn't hire one. We had the tinny. People are water skiing in there. Look, I don't know if there's crocs because we all know the Proserpine River.
I think there's crocs in the dam.
It's got crocs in it.
Yeah, maybe if it's flooded, but I don't think there's crocs in the dam. And just beautiful. It's got sort of all the... So you've got the dam in front of you, and then you've got the
mountain range.
The hills or mountains around you.
It's a really good spot.
And it's just, stunning in the morning, stunning in the evening. And that, my dear, is a wrap, of the top 10.
Waterfront camping in Australia.
Now, I was going to say, we have seen, personally seen, and also heard of, some superb waterfront camps that we haven't been able to get to. Generally because we travel with the dog, but please share your top campsites with us because we get a lot of people who actually read the comments, and we'd like to know, there may be an opportunity in future where we can find a dog sitter for Bob, which doesn't happen in WA, but we'd love to hear of your experiences.
I'd also like to say, if you enjoyed this top 10 waterfront episode, let us know if we do one that's not waterfront. So we try to do all the ones that we had sort of water views of some sort. There's obviously loads that don't have water views.
Bush camps, water holes.
So please let us know in the comments down below if you would like to hear some more of our top 10 or top 5 of each state, or just just put us in the right direction. You know, we don't want to make something that no one's going to watch. So, yeah.
And if you haven't already done so, please do us a solid. Doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps us to grow our little channel. If you can hit the like and subscribe button for us, we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Bob's been well behaved but filthy.
Yeah. No, guys, from myself and Bob, you guys have a fantastic few days, and we shall see you in the next episode. See you guys.